Okay, hey guys, welcome back to the Oil This by Jenny reset. Um, the 30-day reset. Today we are actually going into the third phase of this reset, which is the Nourish phase. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about Nourish and what that means, right? So first we started with the reset phase. So we were starting with resetting our habits, resetting our body, drinking water, all this. We moved, and so we did food practices, but also, and it was mostly food that first time, really to just get you set up. And then in the pre-phase, I kind of gave you an intro to some of the things we've been doing. In the detox phase, we did again some more with detoxing with food. We changed our supplementation so that we were using the GX Assist, which really helps to get the toxins out of the body. So I'd love to hear how that went for you. But we also started introducing some practices of detoxification, right? So now we're moving on to the Nourish phase. And I wanted to talk for a second about just the phases that we can see, these phases in life, right? We can actually remember seasons in our life where we went through like a hard phase where it felt like, we didn't understand going through it, like when we were going through it, what it was doing to us. But afterward, it might have detoxed some old things and habits and systems from your life, right? In the detox phase, last week we were talking about, mentioning friends. I talked about hanging around with the 5 people that you hang around the most kind of creates who you are. Like it's kind of the definition of who you are if you look at the 5 people that you hang around the most, and what we have to do in our lives if we want to be surrounded by better people, if we want to become a better person. We have to start, kind of letting go of some habits in terms of friendship, in terms of work, in terms of what we do on the side, our practices and our routines, and what we do and who we hang out with. So we kind of, and then with like purging notifications off the cell phone and things like that. All right, so detoxing. So when we nourish, I kind of want to talk about the way of that I have seen the consciousness shifting. So I'm talking about change makers like, success leaders, athletes, musicians, actors, and some things that you see where it's not all about like, oh, this was the old paradigm of the past, like the power. You see the power in politicians, you still see that, but you actually see that that system is dying a little bit, and you start to notice that some of these change makers are getting more conscious, right? And following more spirituality, or getting more healthy and things like that. So the new kind of consciousness of business, the way that businesses are starting to really thrive because the people are only sustaining businesses like that, is if a business is creating a win-win-win situation. That means not only they're getting profit for themselves, but they're also helping the community be sustainable, but also helping the planet be sustainable, right? So it's not like they're getting a profit and then it's hurting somebody or hurting the planet, although that still goes on. But you see companies in this kind of new paradigm saying, okay, yes, it's okay to make money, and it's true that it is. And yes, we want to help other people, but we also want to be sustainable for the planet. Okay, so this win-win-win situation. So, we nourish our bodies with food. We also want to make choices in our purchasing that we're nourishing other people, that we're kind of helping the community and people around us. But we also want to start making choices that are nourishing our community. Okay, so if you get my newsletter in February, I'll be sending out some information on there just about sustainability and how you can buy certain chocolates that are going to be sustainable for the earth instead of ones that, don't help the farmers at all. So just creating some mindfulness around this. And part of what I love to talk about when I talk about Nourish is nourishing your brain every single day, right? Because I love to think of every single person as the potential to be a leader. And because we're all so unique, really, we're all just so unique. And leaders to me are people who learn every single day. It's not like they're just getting information that's given to them, but they actually go out and seek education into what they want to learn, how they can help themselves, how they can help other people, how they can help the planet. Okay. David Suzuki has this quote quote. He says, in a world of more than 7 billion people, each of us is a drop in a bucket. But with enough drops, we can fill any bucket. And I think it was Margaret Mead, right, that has that famous quote, never doubt that, what is it? Never doubt that a few group of, something like motivated citizens can change the world, because indeed it's the only thing that ever has. And I love that, because each of us has that capacity for leadership and to just stay in our own lane and do what's right for ourselves and the planet. So nourish, what does that mean? I looked up a few different definitions, and the first one is just to sustain with food or nutriment, right? Just to sustain. To supply what's necessary for life, health, and growth, okay? So a lot of people don't think about what's necessary for growth for themselves, okay? So this is something that should be taught at a young age. One is to cherish and foster. So you can think of nourishing a dream, right? Nourishing a dream. What do you have to do to nourish that dream? You have to constantly learn about it. You have to ask people about it. You have to get advice. You have to try things to strengthen, to build up, to promote. So nourishing people you work with, nourishing, getting art into a community, nourishing music, like things like that, nourishing more of a community, and to strengthen people and to promote them and to encourage them. I love this one, to cherish, nurture, to cherish, nurture, and feed in a deep, sustainable way. Because why would you nourish something if you didn't want it to last, right? So it has to be sustainable. So we think about nourishing plants and seeds, right? We nourish them with water. We nourish them with sunlight. Another thing that people don't always think about is that you have to actually nourish friendships and relationships if you want them to thrive. So I think a lot of people get stuck in this idea of like, oh, family is family and they'll always love me, or like my friends have had it forever. But what do you do to nourish that relationship? What do you do? Do you thank them on a regular basis? Do you send them gifts? Do you send them encouragement, notes of encouragement? Or is it always like me? Like whenever you get together with your friend, you're always telling them about your problem. So it's great to be aware of these things, like how do we nourish our friendships and relationships? And then of course, what this cleanse is kind of all started on, like nourishing the body, right? And today I'm nourishing myself with this nice fuzzy, or not fuzzy, but warm sweater wrap, right? So the more that we work on ourselves, inspires other people to work on themselves. And then what happens is the Margaret Mead quote, right? Because indeed it's really just one person making that decision to really create a ripple effect of goodness in the world. Okay, so this is just the start of our 10-day phase of all the different things that we're going to do. It's going to be fun. I'm going to give you different practice every single day for the next 10 days. And then we're just changing our supplementation a little bit to add nutrients and probiotics and all that good bacteria into the body instead of eliminating. So hope you're having fun following around. Hit me up with a comment, and below I'm going to include my favorite go-to oils, just a few of them that I immediately go to when I need like some love in my heart and just grounding and what makes me feel nourished on the daily. I'll give you those links below. I'm thinking rose and balance for starters. So have an awesome day, you guys, and we'll see you over at the Facebook group. Bye-bye.